All right, you bunch of degenerates, strap in tight because we're going deep into the world of Katy freaking Perry. This bitch went from singing hymns to licking, yeah, you heard me right, licking lollipop-shaped dildos on stage. Talk about a story more messed up than a truck stop bathroom.
Well, it's like a twist in American Dream, you know? We've got all this crap to dig through Wikipedia, some YouTube documentaries that are probably full of shit, and a couple of those PDF biographies, and they all paint a picture of a seriously messed up childhood, a burning desire for attention, and a willingness to do pretty much anything to get it.
All right, let's rip the Band-Aid off this bitch. Little Katy, or Catherine Elizabeth Hudson, as her Bible-thumping parents named her, was born into a world where dancing was a sin and rock and roll was the devil's music. Can you imagine a childhood that boring?
It's pretty wild.
Her folks, a couple of Pentecostal preacher types, dragged her all over the damn country preaching about Jesus. Talk about a childhood killer.
It is fascinating to see that kind of contrast, though. This super restrictive religious upbringing. And then you've got Katy secretly listening to Freddie Mercury and Madonna. It's like she was living a double life. There's this story about her parents banning the word deviled from their vocabulary. Like, seriously, who the hell does that?
Those poor bastards probably couldn't even enjoy a deviled egg without feeling like they were going straight to hell. So this little church mouse starts singing in the choir at 9 years old. And then get this, she's touring with some traveling ministry. A pop star in the making, or just a kid with a serious case of stage mom syndrome.
You can definitely hear those gospel roots in her early music. But there's also this rebellious streak, even then. Her first album, Katy Hudson, came out when she was just 17. And even though it was supposed to be Christian rock, you can hear something different, something edgier lurking beneath the surface.
Well, edgy might be pushing it. That album tanked harder than a freshman at their first frat party. Singing about Jesus and teenage angst wasn't exactly setting the world on fire. But hey, at least she got to hang out in Nashville, right? I bet she snuck into a few honky-tonks and got a taste of the real world.
That Nashville experience was probably pretty crucial, even if the album flopped. Here she is, this young woman raised in this incredibly sheltered environment, suddenly thrown into the music industry. It had to be a wake-up call, for better or worse.
A wake-up call that landed her flat on her ass, apparently. Columbia Records signed her after that gospel album went belly up, but they dropped her faster than a hot potato. Then she hooked up with this hotshot songwriting and production team, The Matrix, the guys who turned Avril Lavigne into a punk-pop princess. They wrote a bunch of songs together, but then, get this, shit hit the fan.
Yeah, the Avril Lavigne songwriting controversy was a big deal back then. The Matrix was accused of taking too much credit for Avril's songs, and it turned into this whole legal mess. It's not clear how much it directly impacted Katy's career, but it definitely added to the chaos she was dealing with.
Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Getting dropped by a label is like getting kicked in the balls. It's painful, humiliating, and makes you question everything.
But what's remarkable is that she didn't give up. She kept writing, kept honing her sound, and kept believing in herself, even when nobody else did. It's that kind of persistence that separates the wannabes from the superstars.
So we've got Little Miss Creature's daughter rebelling against her Bible-thumping upbringing, chasing the pop star dream, getting chewed up and spit out by the music industry. It's a goddamn country song waiting to happen. But wait, there's more.
This is where things start to get interesting. Chris Anacute, a music executive with a nose for hits, hears Katy's demos and thinks there's something special there. He takes those demos to Jason Flom, the bigwig at Virgin Records, and convinces him to take a chance on her.
That Anacute guy was a goddamn visionary. I bet he knew she was going to be a superstar the second he heard her voice, so they signed her to Capitol Records, and it's like watching a phoenix rise from the ashes.
It's a fitting analogy. This is where Katy Perry, as we know her, is truly born. But even then, the road to success is paved with more than a few potholes. Her first single with Capitol, So Gay, was a calculated risk that stirred up a shitstorm of controversy.
So Gay. What a goddamn masterpiece. It was like throwing a Molotov cocktail into a Sunday school class. People either loved it or hated it, and Madonna, the queen of pop herself, actually praised the song. Talk about a publicity goldmine.
It was a brilliant marketing move, whether intentional or not. It created buzz, got people talking, and positioned Katy as a fearless artist who wasn't afraid to push the boundaries.
And let's be real, the girl had balls of steel to release a song like that, especially with her background. She was basically flipping off her past and saying, "Hey world, this is the new me, deal with it."
And the world did deal with it in a big way. So Gay, despite the controversy, set the stage for her breakout hit, I Kissed a Girl. A song that would launch her into the stratosphere and change the face of pop music forever.
Hold on to your hats, folks, because next up, we're diving headfirst into the song that made Katy Perry a household name and probably caused a few conservative grandmas to spontaneously combust. We're talking about I Kissed a Girl, the anthem of bi-curiosity that dominated the airwaves and made cherry chapstick a must-have accessory. Get ready for some juicy details, behind-the-scenes drama, and maybe even a few awkward family dinners. Stay tuned.
I Kissed a Girl was a goddamn cultural earthquake. It blew up the charts, yeah, and it became, like, Katy's signature song. But it also pissed off a whole lot of people.
Oh, yeah, that song was like a glitter bomb exploding in the face of the Bible Belt. Some people thought it was, a fun, flirty exploration of sexuality, while others clutched their pearls and screamed about the apocalypse.
The song was accused of exploiting lesbianism for profit, trivializing same-sex relationships, and even encouraging young girls to, go wild. Katy faced backlash from both religious groups and some LGBTQ+ advocates who felt she was using their experiences for her own gain.
Damn, talk about being caught in a goddamn crossfire. I mean, it's a catchy-ass song, not a political manifesto. But when you're dealing with something as sensitive as sexuality, you're bound to step on some toes.
And Katy, with her Creature's Daughter background, became a lightning rod for all that controversy. Her parents publicly denounced the song, calling it shameful and disgusting. Can you imagine the pressure she was under, trying to navigate this newfound fame while also dealing with her family imploding?
Family dinners at the Perry household must have been more awkward than a priest at a strip club. But hey, at least she had Russell Brand to distract her from the drama. Those two were like a goddamn train wreck waiting to happen. He was a British comedian with a drug problem and a penchant for saying outrageous shit. And she was this bubbly pop star obsessed with candy and glitter.
Their relationship was a media circus from the start. They met in 2009, got engaged a few months later, and then had this insane, over-the-top wedding in India in 2010. It was like something out of a Bollywood movie, with elephants, fireworks, and probably enough drugs to sedate a small country.
I bet those elephants had more common sense than Russell Brand after a few lines of coke. But hey, they seemed happy, at least for a while. And their relationship definitely kept Katy in the spotlight. She was everywhere. Magazines, award shows, even Sesame Street. Although that last one didn't exactly go as planned.
Yeah, the Sesame Street incident was a PR nightmare. She filmed a segment for the show wearing a low-cut top, and parents lost their goddamn minds. They accused her of being inappropriate for children, and Sesame Street ended up pulling the segment.
Seriously, a low-cut top, get a grip, people. It's not like she was giving Elmo a lap dance. But hey, that's Katy Perry for you, always pushing the boundaries and stirring up shit. And through it all, her music kept evolving.
Absolutely. I Kissed a Girl was a huge hit, but it was just the tip of the iceberg. Her second album with Capitol, Teenage Dream, was a monster success. It spawned 5 #1 singles, a record at the time, and cemented her status as a pop music powerhouse.
Teenage Dream was pure pop perfection. Those songs were inescapable. California Girls, Teenage Dream, Firework, E.T., the list goes on and on. It was like a sugar rush straight to the eardrums.
And Katy's image evolved along with her music. She ditched the punk rock Lolita look and embraced a more colorful, playful, and overtly sexualized aesthetic. Think candy-colored hair, whimsical costumes, enough glitter to make a drag queen blush.
Yeah, she was like a walking, talking candy store with a side of whiffs and chains. And it worked. She was selling out arenas, collaborating with everyone from Snoop Dogg to Kanye West, and basically living every pop star's fantasy.
But behind the glitter and the glam, her personal life was starting to crumble. Her marriage to Russell Brand, which always seemed a bit volatile, couldn't handle the pressure of their insane schedules and clashing personalities.
I guess even love can't survive on a diet of Skittles and heroin jokes. They announced their separation in December 2010 and officially divorced in 2012. It was a messy public breakup, and you could hear the heartbreak in Katy's music.
Her third album with Capitol, Prism, was a departure from the carefree pop of Teenage Dream. It was more introspective, more personal, with songs that dealt with the pain of heartbreak, the struggle for self-acceptance, and the search for healing.
Prism was like Katy Perry's therapy session set to music, and it resonated with a lot of people. She was still the pop princess, but now she was showing a more vulnerable human side.
That vulnerability, that willingness to share her struggles, only made her more relatable to her fans. She was no longer just the girl who kissed a girl and liked it. She was a complex, multifaceted artist who had experienced both the highs and lows of fame, and was coming out stronger on the other side.
So we've got Katy Perry, the gospel singer turned pop rebel, the chart-topping hitmaker, the tabloid queen, the heartbroken divorcee. It's a hell of a story, and we're not even done yet.
Next, we'll explore the later stages of Katy's career, her forays into philanthropy and activism, and how her sound and image continued to evolve. We'll also examine the impact she's had on pop music and culture and what her legacy might be.
Stay tuned, you voyeurs, because we're about to go deeper into the twisted, glittering world of Katy Perry. We'll uncover the secrets, the scandals, and the songs that made her one of the most iconic and controversial pop stars of the 21st century. All right, you generates, let's finish this autopsy of Katy Perry's career. This bitch has more lives than a cockroach in a nuclear apocalypse. So, Prism was a hit. She's selling out arenas like a goddamn evangelist. But then she drops Witness in 2017. And it's like she snorted a line of pure cringe.
Witness was a definite departure, yeah. More electronic sounds, some hip-hop influence. It's like she was trying to channel Lady Gaga after a bender. Critics were all over the map. Some gave her props for taking risks, but most thought it lacked those catchy hooks that made her famous.
Witness was like that weird sex toy you find in your roommate's drawer. You're curious, but also kind of disgusted. But hey, at least she didn't play it safe. Speaking of playing things, she lands a judge gig on that American Idol reboot. Can you picture anything more pathetic? A washed-up pop star judging a bunch of no-talent hacks?
Actually, it was a pretty savvy move. Katy brought some much-needed humor to that tired-ass format. Plus, it showed a different side of her. The mentor, the supporter of young talent.
Yeah, she was all about preaching diversity and inclusivity. Funny how the girl who built a career on appropriating gay culture suddenly became the poster child for tolerance. But hey, whatever sells, right?
Cynicism aside, her time on American Idol did help solidify her image as someone who champions young artists. She even used her platform to speak out against injustice.
Yeah, this chick's got a bleeding heart the size of her goddamn ego. She's all about LGBTQ plus rights now, works with UNICEF, even stumps for those brain-dead politicians she likes. Gotta love that Hollywood hypocrisy.
Whether you agree with her politics or not, you can't deny that Katy Perry has used her fame to try and make a positive impact. She's a role model for a lot of young people and shows you can be a pop star and still stand up for something.
So what's the moral of this shit show? Katy Perry's story is like a bad acid trip, full of ups and downs, weird costumes, and enough glitter to make Liberace's jealous. She broke records, pissed off conservatives, and made a shit ton of money.
What's truly remarkable is her ability to stay relevant in a fickle industry. She's constantly evolving, never afraid to reinvent herself, and never takes herself too seriously.
Yeah, well, she's got a team of publicists and stylists working overtime to keep her from fading into obscurity. But hey, gotta give the devil her due. Katy Perry's career is a testament to ambition, shameless self-promotion, and the power of a kitschy goddamn hook.
Ultimately, Katy Perry's story is a reminder that you can achieve anything if you're willing to work hard, embrace change, and maybe sell your soul to the devil along the way.
That's the gospel truth, folks. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need a drink. Yeah, maybe a therapist. This deep dive has left me more mentally scarred than a Justin Bieber concert.